Hi
Hello, beautiful woman.
there. How are you?
How are
I'm
you? Oh, I
good.
can't hear you.
Oh,
Are you
shoot.
muted?
All right, wait. No. Oh, maybe I don't have the volume up. I'm using my iPad for the first time in a long time and I tested it. Can you hear me now? No?
Still can't hear you.
No. Oh,
Uh-oh.
shoot. Video off, mute off. Switch to, I may have to go to my phone then.
Still can't hear you.
Right. Start video. You can see me, but you can't hear me, huh?
Nope, not yet.
Is there anything you can do on your end? I don't see anything else to change here. All right, I may have to go to the phone. This is what makes me very nervous. No, I don't want to download. Open. Loading.
Gotta love technology.
Oh, update. Oh, every time it sends me back to Zoom, I get nervous. Oh, come on. All right, it's loading, it's loading. I use Zoom every day on the phone. I don't know why it needs to load again. All right, we still have time. Share content. I don't know why. The
If
volume's all
you
the way
click
up.
your speaker, are you on a computer, on a desktop?
No, I'm on an iPad. I don't work on
If
the
you click
computer
the
anymore. It's too
speaker
old.
somewhere that's on your desktop, maybe you have a choice to choose what speaker you're actually using. Oh, wait a minute. It could be
No.
me after all. Hold on. This is crazy. Say something.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Am I here? Are you, can you hear me? Oh, okay, good.
It was
But my iPad is plugged in. My iPad is plugged in, but it doesn't hold the charge because it's so old. So if I
Right.
lose you in the middle, I've got to change and go to the phone. But
Okay.
I'm hoping for the best.
Okay.
Oh,
How
okay,
are
so
you?
I'm good. Now that I'm in,
We're good. We're
and
good.
you can see me okay. And if I,
I can,
to do demonstrations like this is very trying.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I did it for the first 3 years. Now I'm a little out of practice, but anyway.
Do you want to
Um,
tilt can you tilt the monitor down and maybe point it at your hands? Would that work, or it doesn't
Well,
go
I'm
this
leaning on,
far?
it's leaning on pillows, so I can just move my body and do that.
Okay,
Yeah, so I can at least see where I am.
that works.
And I have to do it on the dining room table because it's the right height and I have all the shit here, so, I can reach it.
I
Otherwise,
got you. You look
Okay.
fabulous.
thanks. But you gotta dress up for the occasion, don't you?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I made it home just in time. I had a crazy work day and
Oh, God.
I just haven't, all I have is my toilet paper tube and the cuff that I made
Oh,
with
good.
ribbon.
Okay.
I was not able to grab all my materials because I didn't want to be late for everything, but
Right. Yeah, I set everything out last night because I knew I was going to be out today. And, I'm good at preparing because otherwise I get too nervous. So
yeah.
now that you're here, we're plugged in. I can
We're all
relax.
good. We're all good.
Okay.
There are 2 people in the waiting room. One of them is my mom, who's part of
Oh,
the club. She's
geez.
she's a retired art teacher, and I told
Ooh,
her she would absolutely love you, so she's excited about this.
Okay, good.
We had about 25 people registered. When we do these online things and
Yeah.
everybody's a teacher, it's a crapshoot. We could get all 20 or we could get 3 people. It depends on
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah, with Zoom, it's so easy to sign up and then drop out.
Well,
You know?
everybody has life happening, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
The best intentions, and then stuff just goes on.
Yeah, especially these days, you know.
But I'm recording the session, and we always post our sessions on our NICATA UFT YouTube page. I hope that's okay for people who miss it, and then they can watch it back when they have a chance.
Okay, so NFT is the New York Federation of Teachers Association?
NICATA is the New York City Art Teacher Associations, and we're under the UFT. So we work together with the United Federation of Teachers. Yeah.
Great.
Yep. And it's open to everybody. So anyone who's interested will be able to see you do your magical things.
Were you able to get the visuals from Erna?
Yes, I got her slide presentation with all the pictures of your wonderful style and all the different fashion photos and everything.
Okay,
I figured I could read your bio while I show the slides and do that as the intro and then hand it over to you. How does that sound?
Perfect.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah. I even got my glue jar open. I remembered I have to run it underwater because it sticks. So everything is ready.
Fantastic. I wish I was ready to art today. I've been sick too, and I just am like, this is the first day my voice sounds normal.
Okay, so just take it slow and take it in, and thank you for getting the visuals in order, and thanks for running it. I don't know how to do any of that.
I'm grateful for you for donating your time to us.
Sure.
Appreciate that.
Sure. I also do body work. I'm a reflexologist for the last 26 years. So today somebody asked me if I would work on somebody in my building who happens to be 98 years old.
Oh, wow.
Still straight as an arrow, but is having hip issues, pain. So I said, I'm happy to donate my time. I'm happy to help him. If it works, I'm happy to be there for him. So
that's fabulous.
Today was my good deed day, my pay it forward day.
Do you live in Manhattan?
Yeah. I live at Westbeth, which is the largest and oldest artist residence in the country.
Oh, wow.
It's down on Bethune Street, which is 1 block below West 12th Street, all the way over by the river between Washington and West. And we have a gallery here. We have Martha Graham Studios here with performances. We have a movie night. We have all kinds of performances that go on because the building has everything: filmmakers, writers, dancers, painters, sculptors, you name it.
You might want to mention that to the group. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'll send, if you look at my Instagram site, just before I left for Mexico, the equivalent of PBS or a magazine from Sweden came and interviewed 4 of us because they were interested about the history of the building. And since I studied in Sweden and I now have a piece in a major show in Sweden, they were very interested. So the link is on my Instagram site, and there are some really fun pictures. They made me go to the roof that coldest night when it was 6 degrees. So I looked like,
oh, God.
Anyway. So if you want to know about the building, you can listen to that article. Okay.
Oh, I will. You know what? I'll post. Can I post your Instagram in the chat?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
I will do that. Definitely.
Totally.
All right. I'm going to let people in. We usually chat a little bit, give it to like 10 after for people to kind of dribble in, and then I'll start with the actual.
Great. Okay. It's in your hands.
Thank you. Oh, my mother disappeared. I don't know where she went.
Come back, Mom.
She has technology issues too.
Of course. Where do you live with that beautiful cabinet behind you?
I'm in the Rockaways, in Far Rockaway in Queens. I live a block from the ocean.
Oh my God.
And this is actually my mother. She gave me her whole dining room set.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I love it.
Good for you.
I moved here. I moved to the Rockaways from Long Island about 5 years ago. Okay. But I moved to this apartment over Christmas vacation.
Okay. Oh, it's an apartment. It looks like a house. It looks large.
It's a second floor of an apartment.
Okay. Yeah. Good for you.
Hey, Kelly.
Let him in.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Oh, we have two Kellys. Hi, Kelly Holmes and Kelly Ellis and Heather and Roberta, mom / mom. I feel like, remember Romper Room where she used to look in the mirror and say hello and name all the kids' names that week, and you waited to hear your name called out. And hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Mom, is your mic working today?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Good to see you.
Is it all right if I finish my dinner while we're doing this?
Yeah,
I actually have my I had to stop and pick up Chinese because I didn't have time to cook. And it's
Okay.
like sitting here next to me waiting.
okay. So you can eat it while you've got to.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, when I'm talking, you can eat. I had my cup of tea just before, so I could put my lipstick on. That's what's important.
Yes, the lipstick. See, that's why Mom and you would relate so well, because she's from the same school of presenting yourself as fabulous everywhere you go.
So we're probably similar in decade and age.
Yep. Well, probably Mom. Well, you might be, I don't know. Mom's 84.
Oh, shit. Okay, I'm only 78. My partner is 85. Fantastic. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll get Stan out here before the end of the program.
He can come say hi to you. If Stan has any friends, Mom's looking.
Oh, God, you know how many women are looking? And he says, I got guys, but they're either not in good enough health or they're a little bit weird. I'm not fixing you up.
Okay.
But everybody's looking, I know.
Most of the guys my age are decrepit or dead.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what they used to say in Miami, that women are, the guys are either looking for a nurse or a purse.
That I've heard.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. A nurse or a purse. No, better to stay single and maybe just go to dinner with a guy every now and then. That's all.
Exactly what
Or
I
have a
think.
lot of lady friends. I have a lot of younger friends.
I had a 54-year-old guy keeps writing to me.
Good. Take them
No,
on.
no.
Why not?
It's the same guy who was writing to me. I told him, get away from me, but this is
Okay. Then
crazy.
he was
On
weird, huh?
These
I
dating
I
websites.
haven't told him yet that he was in touch with my daughter.
What? No,
Online
then
dating.
If it's weird, then delete.
Delete is right.
No, I mean, finding a good guy these days. I have two young friends in their 20s and both of them found guys. And of course, the first thing they did was bring them over to us for us to do approval. It was so much fun.
That's cute.
Approval. And we approved. We said, not only are they smart, not only are they ambitious, but they got a lot of heart.
That's
So
important.
that's very important. And creativity.
That's important too. Yes.
Yeah. And they appreciated the women's creativity and their uniqueness. So that was very important.
That's rare. That's rare.
These days, yeah. What can you say?
Yep. It's finding a needle in a haystack these days. Any kind of available man with those qualities.
Well, Stan keeps quoting, I forget whose quote it is, somebody brilliant. Live the life you love and love will find you.
I keep seeing that popping up also on my feed. Yeah.
Don't be desperate. Just fill yourself with the joy that fills you, and then you're going to be glowing and you'll be attractive, and you won't attract the weird ones. They'll go the other way.
Always seem to attract the weird ones, no matter what I do. I have
don't own that. Yeah, don't own that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let that one go. I'm only attracting good ones.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes you don't know how weird they are until after the fact.
Oh shit. I used to hang out with a friend and I'd say, I'd see somebody, I'd say, he's cute. And she'd say, you're not about cute. I said, well, let me tell you what cute means to me. Open and available. not full of themselves, and stuff, a bit where they see you, they want to enter your space, they want to be available,
They gotta be a mensch. They gotta be
a
a
mensch.
mensch.
That's it.
Exactly.
Dan used to I used to make mensch awards.
Really?
Yeah, for some of his friends. I made one for him for his 70th birthday. I have it right here.
Cute.
Can you see that?
That's cute.
So it's made from tea bags and a little pillow.
Oh, I love it.
It was 2008. And
Did
then
he wear it
used to
around
be-
his neck?
I think for a while he did, yeah. And then he was best friends with Sid Bernstein, who's the person who brought the Beatles to America and the
Really?
whole British invasion.
Uh-huh.
So I made one for him for his 95th birthday, but that was a bunch of years ago already.
Wow.
But anyway, so Mensch Awards are in. We could do a whole workshop on Mensch Awards, right?
We should. We totally should.
Yeah, why not?
I love it. I know a lot of mensches.
Okay, that's good.
None I could
And you-
date because they're all taken, but
All right, but you'll attract one.
Well, your son is one of them.
I'm sorry?
my son is a mensch. Yes. My son
Okay,
is a
My
mensch.
grandson.
how old is he?
My son is gonna be 28 in 2 months.
And is he single?
No, he moved out in October and is living with his girlfriend.
Okay, good. Okay,
I will probably someday be an in-law, which is
okay,
she's
that's
wonderful.
okay.
Wonderful.
Good. Then bless them. Let them enjoy it and let them, have a good time building a relationship.
Yes, I'm so happy for him.
Yes, good. And is that your only child or you have others?
Yeah, he's my one and only, the love of
Okay.
my life.
Great. God bless.
I keep saying he's my favorite human being on the planet.
What's his name?
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
Love it.
Hi,
Okay.
Joan. How are you?
Hey, how are you? And my grandson's name is Alex too.
Oh,
Good
wow.
name. Good name.
Fabulous.
It's great. Good to see you. And thanks for the heads up on I didn't even realize Joan emailed me to let me know that the flyer said February instead of March.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
Okay.
neither of us noticed it. And I
None
said,
of us noticed it because they're
I
all
didn't either.
yeah, that's what happens when you're trying to do a million things while you're sick. Things just slip by.
Yeah.
All right.
Glad
It
you were
is-
able to put it off.
It is
Um,
7:09. I think I'm going to do a screen share with an intro for our fabulous guest tonight. Debra Rapoport. I met Debra, oh God, when was it? November?
No, the last day of January.
It was that long ago?
Well, because I was gone all of February, a month ago.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
just a
Wow.
month and a few days, because
Right,
today's
so-
the night.
I went to a PD at Museum of Arts and Design, and we had this fantastic exhibit that we looked at about jewelry, and Deborah was there to show us how to make amazing things from stuff you would find anywhere. And I actually we're making cuffs tonight, and I actually made this at the workshop.
Gorgeous.
And the guts of this is a roll of toilet paper. Seriously, and fabulous things that I either found at the workshop that Deborah brought, or I brought with me, or the museum provided. And I thought how fabulous this would be, so much fun for our club. So I asked Deborah right there on the spot if she would do it with us, and she said absolutely. So I'm very pleased to have her with us. And I'm going to share my screen and show the PowerPoint. If I can now locate it, here we go. Now how do I show it?
There you go. Great.
I don't want to make the screen bigger view. Let's see, slideshow. There we go. Can everybody see that?
Good
Yeah.
for you. Good.
Okay, I don't know if I'm on the first screen or not.
I remember.
Probably should have, let me get out of this for a second and make it go all the way to the top. Here we go.
Yeah,
Start this
okay.
first
Oh,
one,
good.
and then go to slideshow. Okay. So, you guys have to, if you are on Instagram, go to Deborah's Insta. She has amazing stuff posted, and she told me she just was interviewed for an article from a Swedish magazine, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's on there for you guys to look at, and I'm going to read her bio real quick and then go through her photos. I am just in love with your, just so you know, I fell in love with your energy, your look. You are just like the epitome of an absolute creative soul who lives in that space all the time. And I love it. I love it. I aspire to be that. I aspire to be that. So Deborah's bio is born in New York City in 1945, lives and works in New York City. As a visual artist, she calls what she does dressing up over and over again. Her creations of embellishments and hats start with the ABCs, assembling, building, and constructing. For the body, incorporating color, texture, and layering using mostly found materials. Since frugality is fun, I'd rather reinvent and curate my closet than be a conspicuous consumer. I believe where there is creativity, there are no rules, and where there are no rules, there is no fear. Absolutely. Even when there are rules.
Fuck 'em.
Involved with Advanced Style with Ari Seth Cohen, one of the 6 women in the film Advanced Style, the 3 Books blog, and TEDx Talk 2015. Her work is in the collections of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York City, Mad Museum of Arts and Design, New York City, LA County Museum of Art, Museum of Fine Arts, Houston, Helen Williams Dreut Collection, Philadelphia Museum of Art, Ilias Lalunis Jewelry Museum in Athens, Greece, Hermitage Museum, St. Petersburg, Russia, Pinochet, I hope I'm pronouncing this right,
I don't know.
Der Moderne in Munich, Germany, and National Museum of Sweden, Stockholm, and National Gallery of Victoria in Melbourne, Australia. Deborah studied weaving in Stockholm,
Weaving.
in Stockholm in the summer of 1966. BFA from Carnegie Mellon University, 1967. Master of Arts at the University of California, Berkeley, 1969. And taught at the University of California, Davis, 1970 to 78. Textile and costume design, NYU, MoMA, Mad Museum, New York City, New Gallery, New York City. It's a shame you don't get around.
One resume.
If you want to do a little description as I go through the slideshow,
Okay.
just let me know and I'll stop it.
Okay, I'll say a few words quickly on each one, okay?
Look how gorgeous this is. And this is all found materials. There's nothing purchased here really, right?
Right. Well, the hats are either made from felt that was sent to me from Italy, or the green one on the left are paper towels, and that's what I primarily make my hats out of. Viva brand, but now Viva brand paper towels.
Amazing. And what do you use to color them?
Spray paint first to make them impervious, and then acrylic for detailing.
Amazing. Okay. Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's an old cape that I made in 1970, and then I reinvented it, and that's what belongs to Mad. They acquired that, and the hat is also paper towels with a mesh wine carrying bag on top.
Wow.
Stretch, remember how we used to make lanterns when we were kids? So it's that kind of thing that stretches, elongates.
Fashion, I take.
More
Come on.
paper hats with my sister who was with me at
Look at, come, cool, come.
teaching that day. Paper hats.
Can we mute all of our mics just for the presentation? Thank you. Okay. So
Neck
that's your
piece.
sister, who I met at the workshop.
Right.
too at
She
Matt.
came and helped me because she's also a textile artist. The necklace is an espresso pods. And the other one is like these little salmon, sardine cans from a party. They were serving hors d'oeuvres and I said, you can't throw that away, please save it for me. And the other necklace on the right is dried tea bags. Tea bags, used tea bags are my passion, among other things. Okay, a hat made out of 3 airplane cosmetic bags that they give you on Air Emirates when I went to Greece 3 years ago, just before the pandemic, to do a show.
These are great.
And a necklace out of an old bath brush.
Wait,
What
let
I
me-
call epaulets over the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's sheetrock often has a strip of it that you tear off. And I was walking down the street and construction workers had a handful. And I said, is that going in the garbage? And they said, yes. I said, can I have it? He looked at me weird and gave me a handful of the colored strips. In the next slide, the next one,
Ah, yes.
that one, yeah.
I love that
And
hat.
the hat there is made from lids from, you know, like sour cream or yogurt with the middles cut out and then intertwined, wrapped in magazine strips and then intertwined, wired together.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a ram's head. And more necklaces made from found objects. The black one is like plastic spoons, again from a party. And a felt hat, another paper hat.
These are so great. And what do you use to adhere everything together?
I mostly use Aleene's tacky glue. When I do anything heavy, I use caulking, silicone caulking, because
Really?
it's thick and it dries clear. So things that don't adhere evenly, you know, the caulking fills in the gap.
Okay.
The necklace on the left, there are 3 of them there, and they're just made from twisted tape. I'm going to talk about that later. And more paper hats. And the middle one is a paper mache necklace, the colorful one. The sort of pink one is a World War II weather balloon that I've had from government surplus since 1970. So it's been around about 80 years, but I've had it for 50.
Yeah.
Another necklace made from Nespresso pods, and then thread bobbins.
And that hat, I love that hat.
Yeah.
Your glasses are great too.
Oh, thanks. A hat made from some leftover palm leaf plates that they're now using instead of plastic plates, and painted red, and the same neck piece made from an old bath brush, and a felt hat with both 2 colors from felt that an Italian company sent to me. And the neck piece is I do a lot of, I say frame the face, and the best way to frame the face is through boas, bibs, and breastplates. So this neck piece in that one is either a bib or a breastplate.
That's
Made
great.
from a palm leaf plate and twisted tape and pipe cleaners and scrubbies and blah, blah, blah. Tea bags.
Does the material dictate the idea, or are you inspired by other stuff? I'm curious.
The material usually talks to me and I start with that. Or, you know, I may decide the form, whether it's going to be a cuff or a breastplate. And then I begin to play with the elements. I put all the elements out. And that's the way I dress in the morning too. I just get quiet and I say, who am I today? And then I don't even think about it. I intuitively reach in the closet and I grab what feels right. So it becomes all very meditative. And as I say, mending as meditation, anything that you do in repetition is a meditation and healing, and brings us closer to ourself,
Yeah.
capital S, self.
Yes.
This hat is made from shredded newspaper I used to be in the flower business, so flowers would often be shipped in shredded paper. I don't think they do it anymore. And so they're just wrapped in silver thread and then some twigs. And then I used to import banana fiber paper from Costa Rica. So the base of that hat is this very thick banana fiber paper that I've waxed. I did a series of them. I think this is the only one I have left. And I like rings. And the other hat is paper towels.
The brown one is paper towel?
Yeah. They're all paper towels.
It looks like,
I mean,
it looks like,
well,
did you sew
well,
that?
no. I'll talk about that a little bit later as we're working, because I have the paper towels here, and
Okay,
I'll quickly go to that one.
I'll try
Cover
to
that,
console
okay.
myself.
Okay, these are two old pictures. The one on the left was photographed in 1990, and that was Bill Cunningham photographed me in that felt hat. Before I did the paper towels, I worked with industrial felt, very thick industrial felt. And the other picture is me working on one of my dissertation pieces in 1969.
Hmm.
And I'm wearing a garment that I made for my photographer for his wedding, and it was macrame out of leather.
Oh my God.
And then my hair was up and down. I don't know how come I still have that picture somewhere.
I
So
wish it
that's
was in color.
50 years ago. Yeah, I wish it was too. And the hat on the left, that's made from paper cord, like shopping bag handles. It's a very favorite material of mine. And back in the early 80s, I made a series called Corded Crowns. And there was a lot of the plastic covered telephone wire around then. So that was my weaving element, my weft, and the paper cord was my warp.
Oh,
And that's the only one I have left too. I don't know where the others are all gone. And the necklace, an online friend works in Chicago in a handbag store, and she keeps sending me boxes and boxes of leather samples that they're no longer using. And they're kind of sewn together. So I unstitch them and I pinch them and they become kind of like Hommentaschen or triangles. And they have a grommet hole in them so I can easily string them on paper cord, and then I paint them.
fantastic.
And the other one, that's me in the museum in Athens, Greece, Ilias Lalounis. They also have the American Foundation of the Ilias Lalounis Museum here in New York. And during New York Jewelry Week in November, I think it's November 8th through whatever, they're usually here, and they're going to be running an auction and an event because they have a shop on Madison Avenue. And the father was a major jeweler. He only died in 93. And one whole floor of the jewelry museum is all the gold jewelry that he made based on all the history of Greek art. And he even did earrings for Jackie Onassis, and he loved dance. So he did something with Martha Graham. And where I live happens to have the Martha Graham studio in our building. And that hat's paper, but the neck piece I'm wearing there is really a chatelaine, which is supposed to be something that the woman of the manor house wore around her waist with the keys and the tea strainer and the lipstick and whatever. So that was made for a show back in the 90s called Reinventing the Chatelaine. So it's got zippers and all kinds of stuff on it. But anyway, I wore it as a neck piece at the opening.
Neat.
A felt hat that was, a real felt hat recycled, and then the orange was added to it for embellishment. And the orange necklace in that one are hair curlers that a friend sent me. They're foam, but they've got wire in them, so they're easily manipulated. And the other one, this was all during, this hat was made during COVID, and it was like, I think 3 cardboard boxes that broccoli came in, put together and embellished with what I call my gems that I'm gonna show you later for the bracelets, how to make the gems very easily. And the bath brush again around the neck, which I love. And a hat made, embellished, well, the hat's made from steel wool, and then with an old pair of tights stuffed, and then embellished with one of the bracelets, one of the cuffs. and another paper hat and a bunch of bracelets. Some are the cuffs and some are made from the paper towels.
This is so great. Do you make your rings too?
No, I did make rings for a ring show that happened 2 years ago, and my earrings are like the rings, but after I made a series of the rings, I said, well, if I take 2 of them, they're gonna make great earrings. So we could talk about that too. But otherwise, I don't really work in metal except found metal. Again, the necklace made from twisted tape woven over wire.
And is that a map, bracelet? The accordion on the bottom right? It looks like. or part-
The one that's pleated.
Yeah, yeah.
It was part of a package. For some reason, I can't remember why I pleated it. It probably, I can't remember now, it's so long ago.
How did you
But-
paint it?
Just by folding it and gluing it.
That's great.
Oh, that
But
was, that was his original color?
Yes, I think so. I no
It looks
longer
like
have it.
it's got red and green tape around the edges,
It
maybe.
might. I gave it away to a friend, one of the women from the jewelry week. So I can't remember.
These are so cool.
Fluvog. No, does it say Fluvog? Maybe it was from shoes, from Fluvog shoes.
It's
I
a
can't remember.
SLOU and the
Yeah.
next is Loosh.
I think it probably is from or something sausage. I don't remember. It doesn't
mean-
matter. It's a piece of cardboard. What the heck?
How do you close it? How do you close the necklace?
Usually with a rubber band or 2 pieces of elastic. I'm going to get into that when I talk about the cuffs.
Okay.
A mask that was sent to me and wearing an old wheat peel from Guatemala, and a hat from, not one that I made, from United Nude, and cuff bracelets, the same bracelet I have on now in my left hand, and a hat made out of newspaper, just folded and bound, and again, the tape necklace and an old Chinese apron, 2 Chinese aprons that my sister brought me from China a million years ago, 50 years ago. I never throw anything away, obviously.
Mom, don't get any ideas.
Yeah. And more cuffs and a paper hat made from the banana fiber paper on the right, painted,
Okay, great.
and more cuffs. These are, well, there's one toilet paper cuff on the left, and then the other are the Viva paper towels, and then one scruffy bag and a necklace that's just made from almost like cut fabric, but done with a finger weaving technique, just weaving on your 5 fingers, like spool knitting, like we did as kids.
Yeah.
And then a piece of found metal.
You said that was a scrunchie?
Yeah, a scrubby, for pot cleaning. I love them.
Pot cleaning.
I-
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I make a hole in the middle and then I wear them. I love them. And more cuffs. That same cuff keeps closing up, I think.
These are great.
And more cuffs. You can see the scrubbies there.
You have to explain your method for the braided or the woven.
Okay,
cuffs
yeah,
that
the
you
finger.
sell too, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that was a commercial for Kmart, Money Can't Buy Style. That was up on billboards around the city, on top of taxi cabs. That was, I don't know, 2019, 2017, I can't remember.
Kmart still
think
around?
I think-
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Some of them, I think the one downtown closed.
I think that's our
think.
last slide.
I don't keep track. That's the last slide. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing. I think we have 2 messages to look at. Let's see, comments. Would it be possible to get a copy of this presentation?
Right.
I will definitely forward it on to you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So before we start, anybody have any specific questions? And then I'm just gonna hand it over to Debra. Anybody? All right,
Can I show something?
can you what?
Can I show something or is it?
Yeah.
too-
Yeah, show.
I was inspired by this presentation to remember something that I did as a camp project years ago when I was a camp counselor,
Oh,
This-
wow.
made of paper clips wrapped in silver foil of some kind.
Absolutely fabulous. I love it. Do you wear it, I hope?
I used to wear it. Now it hangs in my room.
No, you got to start wearing it again. It's so beautiful. You got to wear it.
I
Why
must
not?
have some of the similar vibes as you do.
Right, exactly. It's beautiful. You got to wear it. Don't be shy.
Okay.
All right, you're on, Miss Rapoport.
Okay.
I'm going to pin you so that everybody can see you nice and big.
Okay.
There we go. And I'll
Right.
monitor questions if anybody.
Okay. But I'm not big yet. What
You're
do I
live,
have to?
we can see you big.
No, I can't. I'm not big.
You're not.
I don't know
big.
what to do. No,
Well, I pinned you, so we can all see you big.
I know, but I need to be big so I can see what I'm doing. So I don't know how to make myself big. I was big at the beginning.
Oh,
Otherwise, I can't see what I'm doing.
let me try remove pin and
You made your mom big. Mom was big a minute ago.
let me spotlight. How about that?
There we go. There we go. We're on. We're on. Okay.
Okay.
All right. This is what makes me nervous. Okay. I'm so excited to be here. And now that we've warmed up, I can relax and not be nervous, Nellie. It's the technology that makes me nervous.
We're all
So
from-
as I think you know, we're going to start, we're going to be making cuffs, and I have 4 cuffs on now for you to see. And you saw a lot of them in the slides. And I'm going to show you more after we begin. But we're basically going to start with a toilet paper roll, the cardboard. And I say that we're really, all we're doing is we're building a collage, but in a cylinder. And we're not going to flatten this because if we flatten it and work flat, it's not going to roll up and fit beautifully on your wrist. So we work cylindrically, okay? And the main thing we need to do is first cover the cardboard. So I usually request that people bring a postcard or a greeting card or a magazine page, but I don't think that was added to the list. So whatever you have, you're going to cover your toilet paper roll. I mean, if you only have masking tape, you can cover it with masking tape. If you only have some fabric, then you can cover it with a piece of fabric. And then from there, we'll continue to build. And so basically, we cover it, and then we add other elements to it to give it some 3-dimensional texture. So before we start, then I'll show you a few, and then I'll do another demonstration. This is a favorite, and it has what I'm going to show you later, how to make a gem just by making a wad of toilet paper. And this happens to be a wad of the scrunchie pad, the scruffy pad like this, which I wear as bracelets a lot, as you saw. And then what's fun about this is I use paper cord, but I let the ends be antenna and let it be extended. And what we do is so this is one that after I have the surface covered, I just embellished it with paper cord on the edges and a little bit of wire. And in the center is just a bottle cap. And then what I do on all of them is I use the mesh bags from produce. And I cover them so that number one keeps everything secure on the surface and also works as kind of a mesh cover that visually pulls everything together. And they come in many colors, so you determine, what color you want as your final layer. And this is one that very simply is embellished with, for lack of a better word, it's almost like a piece of a t-shirt, a strip of a t-shirt, cotton cloth, and then some ribbon. And then again, it has two of the gems, which we make with toilet paper, wadded up, and then wrapped either with yarn or thread or wire. So here's another one with the gem. And this isn't heavily embellished. It just has one strip of ribbon and then the mesh. So to start, I have one here that I just started. And it was packaging from some cookies. Can everybody see okay? I'm trying to make sure that I'm focused working on the iPad.
We're good.
And then I covered it with the mesh, and the mesh, everything gets glued, and I'm going to show you the glue. Everything gets glued to the inside, and then we covered the inside either with a piece of cloth or a piece of paper towel. And I use Viva paper towel, and this is what I make the hats out of, but it's gotten harder to find. So this I find in Home Depot, and it's made by the same Kimberly Clark, but it's called industrial. So it's like what carpenters and workmen use. And it has no texture. That's what attracted me to it originally when I started making the hats. Because unlike Bounty, which is very papery and it's embossed and it has texture, this feels very cloth-like. So I often use this to line the inside of the bracelets, of the cuffs.
Is that what you
So-
use for the braided bracelets also? The woven stuff?
Yes, I
that's
folded,
Industrial paper towel
yeah. Mhm.
at Home Depot?
And it usually comes, I think, 3 in a package, and it's very strong. You can get the Viva, which is white, which I have one piece here to use to line, but it's very hard to find it in the full sheets, so it comes in the half sheets. So then you've got more weakness because you've got all the perforated holes, so it becomes much weaker. So that's why I've gone to the blue one that you get at Home Depot in the industrial department. And this is what it looks like when I make the hats. I fold it in a particular way. My formula is I fold it in half and then in thirds. So I have a smooth edge on both sides. Even though this is a seam, it's smooth, so there's no raw edges. And this is what I then begin to build the hats with. But this is a leftover piece, so I might use this on a cuff. But the hats are a whole other workshop because
Yeah.
it's harder to construct, and we've got to make a lot of elements before we can actually build a cylinder.
And you said you seal that first before you paint it?
Yes,
What's it sealed with?
well, no, I seal it, well, first I build it, and then I spray paint it. I go outside and I spray paint it to seal the paper, because the paper is very porous otherwise.
Oh, once
so-
it's constructed, you seal it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
got it.
people
Okay.
people say, would you wear a paper hat in the rain? I said, no, but I wouldn't wear a good felt hat or a good straw hat in the rain either.
Right.
But if you get caught and if it's sealed with spray paint and it's a little sprinkly out, it's not going to disintegrate. But you take it off and you get a shopping bag and you carry it home, just like you would with a felt hat, right?
Is it clear spray paint or the base color?
No, color. I use a lot of color, and and sometimes I'll use, 2 shades of a blue and a purple and ombre it. I'm trying to see, I have another hat here. You can see how this is ombre.
Yes.
It's 2 colors. It's kind of gray and brown.
Mhm.
And then the blue is a felt tip, I guess, and then embellished with leftover, what's the fake red? AstroTurf. I can put it on.
Amazing.
I've got this one clipped.
You look good in hats.
Yes.
I love hats. My mother was a hat wearer, and ever since I'm a kid, I've done hats. And I said, everything's a hat, a lampshade, a paper bag. And I have taught classes at the Neue Gallery, the Austrian German gallery, on Family Day. And we make hats with the kids using paper bags and embellish them with tea bags and ribbon and all kinds of stuff. So anything's a hat. And so many people say, oh, I don't look good in hats. I say, try it on. Let's find one. Pull your hair back. Let's play. And I like open hats because then I like to pull my hair out, you know. And I say, the minute you put a hat on, you have hatitude. Something happens and you just become a different person. So try it. It's only play. We're not doing brain surgery, okay?
I love it.
Okay, so back to the bracelets.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start. I love Aileen's tacky and it's upside down because otherwise I can't get it out. The jar is too big. I bought big jars during COVID. And so I keep it upside down. Otherwise now if I have to get it out. So I put some on a lid or a little dish, and that's what we're gonna work with. And it's not gonna come out the hole, so I have to take it out this way. I had to run it underwater before to make sure I could get it open. And I take a little out at a time so that it doesn't, you know, dry up. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. It's very weird doing it on Zoom. Okay. And then I use a brush or a popsicle stick or whatever you like. And I keep some water nearby so the brush doesn't get hard. And then you're going to decide, take your toilet paper roll. And do you all have enough fabric and materials and things to cover it to start with a basic surface to embellish it? So
Some people do, yes.
is
I'll have
everybody,
to look for
everybody
something.
going to start to work? Here's a very simple one started, and then the second thing I added was again a strip of like cotton t-shirt material. Pipe cleaners are wonderful. That's what I was going to add to this one. A pipe cleaner, and then this funny time ribbon or embellishment. And then I use clothespins to hold it after I glue it, okay?
Uh-huh.
That makes it just easy. Everything stays in place while the glue dries. Otherwise, you have to stand there and hold it, and that's no fun, because then after you put the paper clips on, you can go on and add something else while this is drying. And the other things I like to use are for embellishments besides ribbon and yarn around the edges are bottle caps that I step on and smash. Or I have got everything on the table and I got to find everything. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's stepped on and smashed. And then you can glue it on. I often back it with a little bit of with the glue, but with a little bit of toilet paper in the back so that it gets filled in. So the toilet paper makes contact with the cardboard. And then I love these. These are these lids from soup and broth. So I save everything because these become like gems also. And then a little bit after we start working, I'll show you how I make the gems. But also I love tape. So this is Japanese tape, and that's wonderful to add to the surface. And then this is some twisted tape that I showed you that I made those 3 necklaces out of. And it's just old tape. I used to buy it down in Canal Street. They sell big volumes of it because the stickum was gone and nobody wanted it, but I loved it for the color, and then I could take it and twist it. And basically masking tape works the best. And this is my meditation. If I'm sitting in front of the TV or listening to music, I literally just sit and twist. So I'm very twisted. But whatever works, whatever floats your boat, ladies.
Wonderful.
And it's very satisfying. It's like mending. And then it's like yarn. Basically, you're applying like if you ever spun yarn or spun fleece into yarn, it's basically the same thing with twisting. And then you can also take your toilet paper roll and cut it up into strips like this, which is how I made the earrings. And they first started out as rings for a ring show at Moore College of Art in Philadelphia, and then it went to the Metal Museum in the South. I forget the city right now. And so it's just three pieces of the toilet paper roll glued together like almost a Valentine sign or whatever that was called, and embellished. And the ring hole to make it fit is just a pipe cleaner wrapped in paper cord or brown paper, and then embellished on the surface. So then after I made a whole series of those, I said, well, if I put a backing on them, I've got earrings. And that's what I've done. And they're my favorite earrings. Of all the earrings I have, these are my fave. Okay. So is everybody working?
I'm gonna go grab
I don't,
washi tape. I'm gonna be right back. You just gave me that idea.
So the other thing I love are Nespresso pods, which I've made a lot of various necklaces out of, and I'll get up and get them later. But again, you can see how after I squish it, I fill in the back with a little bit of toilet paper or tissue so that it becomes flatter and smoother. And then the glue adheres to that, and then that adheres to the cardboard. Otherwise, metal to cardboard. And again, this is flat and the cuff is round. You could bend this a little, but this just fell off of something, so I have to put it back on the way it is. Are there any questions? Am I clear? Is everybody following?
Yep.
So again, I did a series of things with the paper towels, and these were like leftover parts. So these are fun to add on the surface if you want anything, so you can use buttons. These are pieces of felt from the same woman in Chicago who sent me a box of felt.
How did you close the cuff, the paper?
Okay, well, we haven't gotten there yet, but I'll explain. Let me find one because
I can show mine if you need me to.
okay. I happen to have a particular kind of elastic that I bought a million years ago, but all you really need to do is cut a rubber band or 2 rubber bands and make a hole on either side, top and bottom, and thread it through and just knot it. You can have the knot on the outside if you like knots, or if you like the color of the rubber band and you want the knot as another embellishment. I only put the knots inside just to simplify it, but it doesn't matter. You can use a point of a scissors or an awl or a sharp needle to pierce the hole and then just push it through. It's that simple. On some of them, I just wear them without any closure. And if I need to, I just put a rubber band on it. So that's the easiest thing. It's the closure is not a big deal. Eventually, as you see here, the rubber deteriorates and it broke as I put it on before. So it's got one elastic, but that's the least of my problems. This one, I'm wearing the rubber band. This one is tight enough. I don't need anything, but I could put a rubber band on. But I did have holes. It did have elastic at one point, but these are so old already. Then the other thing, during COVID, we were drinking a lot of wine. So the box of wine came with cardboard dividers. So they were wonderful big pieces, and when you fold them, they end up having these flaps. So I made a whole series of cuffs that are exactly the same concept as the ones we're working on, but because the cardboard had flaps, they became more dimensional. And they're very fun to wear because nobody knows what you're wearing. You could also end up making it a necklace. You could add a few together and make it a hat, anything you want. It's just cardboard, so you can't go wrong. You can't mess up, right? So
Right.
here you see this one is lined inside with the blue paper towel. So that secures all your loose ends that are inside and also gives you a nice clean lining. So you want to end everything on the inside, because if you're going to be putting it on and off your wrist, putting a coat or a sweater on all the time, it's going to begin to fray and things are going to come apart. So at least if you ended everything on the inside and then cover it, then it's more secure. You know, not that we're selling these at Tiffany's or anything, but you know, you don't want them to fall apart. But you know, you never know, you might sell them at a crafts fair. So you want them to be, and your first one may not be perfect, but don't worry about it. You know, it's only cardboard. So we can go from there and do more. Another element I like is not telephone wire, electrical wire, because I love copper. So I found this in the street one day, and it's a wonderful thing to embellish. It's a little hard to glue, but again, if you fold it and bend it at the end of your cylinder, you know, you're able to secure it more easily, because if you bend it and glue it to the inside and then line the inside, or even put like a piece of paper towel over it, you know, like a Band-Aid at that point to secure it.
What would you use to glue the copper, the metal?
I use the same white glue. And then if I want to secure it, then I use a piece of paper towel or a piece of cloth on top of it with the same white glue. You can use hot glue too. I happen to like white glue better. With certain things, I'll use the hot glue, maybe if I'm putting on a button or something that isn't malleable, like paper or cloth, and needs to make contact, and that it's not going to make contact directly with the cylindrical surface, then the hot glue fills in. That's the same that I do when I'm working with found metal like this. I do a lot of found metal. I used to do a lot of this in the 70s and 80s, and I've started again. So I use silicone caulking because it's very gummy and it's very thick. So it helps make the contact. It fills in, you know, what isn't fitting exactly right. And it's very strong. So a lot of the pieces 40 years old are still hanging in there and they're fine.
So you use the silicone caulking as glue?
Yeah. I mean, you can use it on the paper too, but it's kind of wasteful because paper likes paper glue better. So why the caulking takes longer to dry, and it's, I don't know. I mean, you could try, but you could certainly use it if you want to apply a button or a bottle cap or something. So, and well, while we're talking, I might as well show you how to make the gems. As simple as taking, I think I use about 5 squares of toilet paper. And I fold it up. And then I fold it so the raw edge is in the inside. No, I guess I do it maybe like this. The 2 raw edges are in the inside like that. And then fold it together. And then I squeeze it into a ball, sort of. And then I take something like thread or string or yarn. In this case, I'm going to use my twisted tape. Is it hard to see because I'm sitting in front? It's not like there's a background. Okay. And I start and I hold it in the back. And the important thing is you always want to, you don't want to wrap it like this because then it's going to fall off the edges. You always want to do it so that you're at 90-degree angle all the time. So if I'm at 2 o'clock, I want to go to 7 o'clock. If I'm at 5 o'clock, I want to go to 11 o'clock. I didn't make this round enough, so this is hard. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So the important thing is you always want to go clearly diagonal, otherwise it's gonna fall off. And this is more like it's not quite round. I didn't squish it hard enough. And it doesn't matter what you use, again, yarn, thread, tape. Well, here's one that's finished that just fell off a piece before. So you can see that I'm always going from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, so that it all crosses in the center. Otherwise, it's just going to all fall off. And then, all right, this is not working. And then I glue it in the back, okay? So you're always going to finish it by gluing it in the back with a whole lot of glue. And, you know, and then press it to make sure. And it doesn't matter if the back is messy. See how messy the back is, but the front is perfect. And you can make them as large as you like or as small as you like. You know, these were small. This one, other one was larger. This was made out of the copper scrubby, so you see how large that is. Also done with the twisted tape. This one is pretty large, and this was done with bits of cloth and thread.
I guess you could put silver paper over.
Yeah, you could do anything. Just remember, you're building a collage. It could be anything. It could be objects, cloth, paper, tinfoil, silver, gold leaf, anything at all. It's your creation, whatever you want it. And again, since we're just using scraps and cardboard, if you don't like it, put it aside, start another one. Tomorrow you'll look at it and you'll be inspired again, or cut it apart and put the parts together. You know, again, it's not brain surgery. This is playtime. Creativity is playtime. And we have to make a mess when we're creative. When I go visit my grandma, and my sister and I would pull out the button drawer and dump it in the living room floor. My grandfather would say, "Oi, oi, they're making a mess." And my grandmother would say, "Be quiet, they're being creative." So that runs through every cell in my body.
I love it.
There's no such thing as a mess. It's part of the process. You know, the same when you cook, you get the onion skins on the floor, you're chopping the garlic, a little of it falls into the stove. What the heck, you know, so you clean up afterwards. Not a big deal, right?
Right.
Okay. So is everybody started? Is everybody
Yes.
coming along?
Yes. Yes.
Any questions? Any comments?
Anybody
Any
want to
joyfulness?
be brave enough and show what they're working on?
Yeah.
Let me remove the spotlight. I have.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Oh,
I need to take a picture.
Oh, that's great. Cutie pie. I love it. I love it.
And I need to take a picture of your other one. I missed it. I can't see anything
You can't
other than yours.
other than mine?
Yeah, is somebody else showing? Maybe I have to go to gallery.
Go to
Let me go to
gallery
gallery.
view and you can see everybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
So this
Yeah,
is
yeah. Okay.
yeah. I love these. I love your cutie pie. Oh, look
Oh, wow, great. Oh, cutie pie,
at
fabulous.
And Kelly made a jewel.
But you gotta promise me you're gonna wear them. How do you wear them?
She made it. The other Kelly.
Oh,
Jewel,
perfect.
yeah, I love the
Very
jewel.
good.
It's awesome. I
And
wonder
once you
if
start
we're-
making the gem, you get addicted. You just want to sit and make gems all day.
that might
So,
be to do with
because I
paper
make so
with,
many bracelets, and
with
how many can you wear?
yeah, you need longer arms.
What?
Well, like.
So I turned it into a boa. I put about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 10 bracelets together with spacers. And the spacers are
Your
the
scrunchie.
scrubbies cut up, scrunchies, scrubbies. And I wear it as a necklace. I wore this to class, remember?
Yes.
Just
I
to
do.
show you that.
Oh, that's great.
Okay. And then here's one that was made from all those leather parts from the friend in Chicago who sent these leather things spaced with bottle caps
Oh, gosh.
and attached on paper cord.
You know, your color combinations and your patterns and your textures are amazing.
Well, it's just called fun. You know, we got to be fearless again.
Do you ever buy jewelry?
No, not anymore. Back in the 80s, I used to buy a lot of vintage jewelry at the 77th Street Flea Market. And I inherited some of my mother's beautiful jewelry. But I pretty much only wear people want to send me jewelry all the time. And I said, no, please don't, because I won't wear it. Because I just have too much fun wearing my junk. And it's fun.
This is great.
But I still do have some. I sold a lot of the vintage, but I still have some. And every now and then I look at it and I say, well, I really should wear it every now and then. Why not? Because it's, you know, that stuff from the 40s and 50s was so gorgeous, you know, and beautifully made. So let's see what else everybody's doing. Roberta, let's see yours, Roberta.
I haven't started yet. I just made a shape.
Okay, that's good. Very good. You know, and if you think this size is too big, then cut the toilet paper roll down and make it smaller, you know? You can make it, instead of the 4 inches, make it 3 inches, right? Like,
It's a paper towel roll.
yeah, so you cut that in half. Or
Yep.
let's see, let me find a small one here. I have a small one somewhere, I can't find it. Oh, you know what? Look I found this. I didn't, this is the second one of this.
Oh, look at that.
So
So
what I think, I don't know what I did a lanyard technique. Remember we used to make lanyards
Uh-huh.
with strips and, well, no, it's almost like a braid. So that's what I did here, a lanyard technique, but I don't know why. I don't remember what the material was.
That
It
reminds
was
me of
elongated cardboard.
we used to take gum wrappers and fold them.
Yeah,
into
yeah,
like a
yeah,
zigzag
exactly.
Kind of a thing, right?
Exactly.
And then
Same
it looks
thing,
like
only
it's
this was a
a spring and it snakes out. Yeah, that's
Exactly. See?
right.
And this must have been like just a strip of cardboard or something. I can't remember, anyway.
Wearing,
It's two
Anyway.
strips that you kind of fold over at 90
Yeah.
degrees and then you keep folding it
Right.
and folding it over and over again.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's kind of like a braid, but it's a 2 instead of the normal 3 braid or something.
Right.
And
Exactly.
then I used to be in the flower business and use a lot of ribbon, but I used more like bias tape. So that came on a roll, and then I would save all the cardboards. And I've made bracelets out of these. I have one from 1980 and I still wear it and it's still perfect. And then I embellish it. I bind it or embellish it or paint it, but it's just made out of all these cardboard.
How do you store your stuff?
good.
I have one small room in our pretty large apartment, and it has all my finished art, all my hats, all my clothes, all my materials, all my file cabinets in one small room.
Do you
And it's
live
in
Like
there?
your walk-in closet and everything is on display?
Well, if you walk in the room, everything is on display,
That's
but it's one small room, like a walk-in closet. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
live on the
So-
Upper West Side?
No, I live in the West Village. I used to live
Oh.
on the Upper East Side, but I live at Westbeth, which is the largest artist residence in the city.
Yes,
We have over 600 residents here.
yes.
And people wait 23 years, 25 years to get in the building
How long have you lived?
because well, I've been with my partner 15 years, but he's been in the building 50 years.
Wow.
He's been here since the early 70s.
Wow.
The building opened in 1970 and he came in 74. So it'll be 50 years next year. So,
You
and
know, in
nobody,
my
nobody.
brain, when you say
here.
1970, it's only 30 years ago in my brain.
Oh, it feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
Feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where the time has gone. It's
Very-
totally crazy.
Yes.
I mean, I still feel like a teenager and I'm 78 years old, but I don't feel it. So
You
I don't
don't
know.
look it
We just got to
either,
keep
Pam.
playing. That's the only thing.
What should I
That's the
say?
only thing that's going to keep us.
I never grew up.
Yeah, that's it. That's the best thing. It's the power of play and being youthful. And how do you stay youthful? By being joyful. I mean, it's a really messed up world and it's very depressing.
Really messed up.
And more so, I feel sorry for the young ones because times are very difficult emotionally and physically. You know, having gone through 3 years of COVID, everybody is rusty, you know? That's the only way I can put it. We're rusty. So anybody want to show more what you're doing? Any questions?
I haven't gotten very far.
Haven't gotten very far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. I haven't been able to do anything past what I showed you. Let me see.
Okay, but any questions though? It's pretty self-explanatory because you can't go wrong, right? I mean, you have questions like, how do we close it? How do we line it? Okay, and then of course the
Yeah,
mesh bag,
That's good.
the mesh,
Who has?
and
does
putting the
anybody
mesh
have a
bag
mesh
on top.
You know, when you reminded me to add that to the list, I had literally just thrown out the day before a mesh bag and I forgot to keep it for that. That looks great, Heather.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, Heather. Are you having fun? Beautiful.
Is that a bottle cap or a button?
Button. Looks like a button.
Yeah. Button.
The button.
Beautiful.
I'm a teacher and I found it on the when I was doing car duty.
Perfect. Perfect.
Everything works. Everything works. So again, when you're working with a bottle cap, you may want to take a little bit of the paper, Kleenex or toilet paper and wad it up. Okay, now that I have this glue, I might as well use it. Otherwise it's going to get all over. And fill in the back of the bottle cap so that it basically has a paper backing and then it'll glue better to your paper
That's a good.
cuff. You don't want it too fat, you want it fairly flush, and you want a lot of glue on it so it's really in there. And then, see how I filled it in? Now I'm so small, I can't see what I'm doing. And
Oh,
so
like-
then that
Spotlight
will
you again? I can-
adhere,
Spotlight.
it'll adhere easily to the cup. Okay.
And then you paint the cardboard with acrylic?
No, I don't paint the cardboard. I usually cover it with a postcard or a piece of fabric or a page from but you can if you want to paint. These are mostly constructed. I don't use paint on these, but that's me. You can do anything you want. You know, I usually cover it first with a label, you know, or a postcard or a page from a magazine, you know, because you're always getting postcards in the mail and I hate throwing them away. So I use them. So that's how that all started, you know, first embellishing this with something, you know, some visual. I have all these business cards somebody gave me, so I think I'm gonna, not that I really need to make another bracelet. That's what happened in the hat making. I did so many workshops that I had so many hats started that I didn't know what to do. So I started putting 2 and 3 hats together. And it was the best idea I could have ever come up with because that's how I got them. Oh, I'm getting it all over my pillow. Oh, shit. Um, I'm just sticking somebody's business card. I have a stack, I'm gonna put several.
Found the perfect thing.
So you can cover the surface with any, anything you like. Paper, cloth, fur, leather, like I have these leather pieces. So they're small enough. I have a whole bunch that are bigger, but the small ones are perfect. I don't even have to cut them. And of course, you can do this with any age group. Everything I do is so low tech. I've done hat workshops with 8-year-olds to 92-year-olds. Oh, I love this orange leather. It's really fun. It's nice, soft leather. Oh, what happened to the other piece? Oh, here it is.
Did you make your dress?
No, I don't sew. I mend and I alter and repair stuff, but I don't. No, I have a friend who gets stuff at thrift shops and then she decides she doesn't like it, and so then she offers it to me. Most of my clothes are gifted and thrifted. I haven't bought anything in probably 30 years. Unless it's at a thrift shop. But swap meets are even more fun. And we used to have a lot of them before COVID, but I think they're coming back, and then we got, COVID paranoid, so we stopped doing swap meets. But they're so much fun because you never know what you're going to find, and you end up meeting new people, and usually we have food and drinks, so we end up eating and drinking. And what could be more fun? And then you go home with a bag of new clothes. Because the theory is you're supposed to go home and throw away 3 things for every one new thing you bring in. But of course, who's going to do that?
Is that the rule?
That's the rule.
Wow.
That's the rule. Okay, so far I've got this one business card and 2 pieces of orange leather. So that's going to be nice. And then I'm going to fill in with yarn and other stuff.
I happened to go through a bin of old refindings at school this week, and I
Uh-huh.
brought home this gorgeous little vintage kind of thing with
That's
stones
pretty.
on it, and it's gonna
Let's
be
see.
perfect.
Let's see. Let's see.
Okay, let me spotlight myself. Hang on.
Yes, spotlight.
Add spotlight. Here we go. So this is my cuff that I'm working on,
Ooh, yeah.
and then this goes.
Woo! Okay. Okay, but to make it really sit on top of the curve, you're gonna have to back it with some soft paper.
Right.
Okay,
I was
otherwise,
thinking I might even have to use the hot glue because this is heavy.
yes, to fill in, yeah. It may not, with the hot glue, it may not stay forever, but then as long as you don't lose it, then you can always go home and put more hot glue on it,
Right, right.
But
that's
at least the
how
hot glue fills in the voids.
Mhm.
So that's fab, gorgeous.
Oh,
Hold up your other one and make yourself full screen so I can photograph your other one too.
okay. Hang on.
Please, thank you.
Sure. How do I unpin you? Let's see.
Unpin me.
Could she use the caulking, the silicone caulking to paste that?
She could. Hot glue, of course, sets up faster.
Mhm.
So this is
And
the.
I'm gonna do one at a time.
Mm. Wow, you could put photographs.
Fabulous, just fabulous.
Like of Alex, you could put photographs of him.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true. I could put that. That's interesting. I wouldn't even have thought of that.
And then,
You know,
use,
remember the old photo booths?
Yeah, yeah.
Little
Yeah.
photo booth pictures would be really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have parties and they have the photo booths at parties.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have,
But
Yeah.
also the medium, the Liquitex gloss medium.
oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah,
It- That helps pace things down too.
yeah. And that does a good surface on the top to keep everything intact together if you have lots of little pieces,
Mhm.
that
All right, you're
Keeps it-
spotlighted again. You're spotlighted again.
Okay, so what else can I show you? What more do you, the mesh, of course, is my favorite.
For holding
like
it
I
all
said.
together.
Yeah. And then all you do is you have to cut it to size. And then you add the glue on the inside, okay? So you cut it, get rid of the excess. Again, so you have like a normal 1/2 inch seam and you just glue it, okay? And it gives it a nice finish and physically it holds everything intact. That's my preference, but if you don't want, if you're putting things like buttons or you like the color the way it is and you don't want it to be altered in any way, then don't put the mesh on.
Well, you could add on top of the mesh, right?
Yeah, so that's what's happening here. The gem is on top,
Right.
the paper cord is underneath the mesh. And
And you
It doesn't-
glue it with the Eileen's glue.
yeah, I do everything with the Eileen tacky because it's very tacky and it's quite strong for a liquid glue. Old fashioned Elmer's is terrible. I think they maybe upgraded it, but it's very watery and it's not strong enough. We used to use it in the old days, but it's obsolete now. Just not good enough. So, oh, let me see, I had another piece to show you also made from the toilet paper rolls. I did a whole series of these at the beginning of COVID. And there was a piece from the Metropolitan Museum posted on Instagram. And it was a silver bodice and the shape of it was so inspiring that I made this out of silver. The toilet paper roll, there are two strips together. And I can wear it as a bodice, but I often wear it just as a boa.
Oh my,
It's really fun to wear. So the toilet paper cardboard is endless, from small rings, earrings, boas, bodices, bracelets, just keep them out of the landfill and just play with them and see where they take you.
I just opened up a bottle of tacky glue that I've had on my shelf forever.
Yeah,
Or
it's
it's
a
all
solid
hard,
mass.
it's no longer liquid.
Oh my
oh,
God.
you're kidding. Is it totally solid or can you add water
No,
to
I
it to
don't
make
think
it
so.
move?
This is the
It's
piece
not good at all?
that was blocking the opening. Like, look at this.
Completely dry. Oh, jeez.
Oh dear.
Can't see.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right,
Well,
well then, time to buy a new one or put water in it overnight, see if it comes alive tomorrow,
I don't think.
just for the fun of it.
I don't think water would thin it. I'm working on this, which I will re-roll.
Any more showing?
Love it, Mom.
Oh, that looks great. It looks great. It looks
Kelly, that's
great.
Great. I love your.
Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous, Kelly. Okay. And you gotta wear them to the Easter parade, to the St. Patrick's Day parade. You gotta dress up. Right?
Make green stuff.
How do you connect the pieces? You showed
Green.
earlier how you rolled the blue towel, but how do you connect the pieces for your hats?
Well, first I make long ones. And then I coil them like I'm coiling a basket. So my basic formula is usually it's 5 lengths of the paper towel, but I can't do that now because you won't be able to see it on the small screen anyway. And my formula is I fold it in half. In half. And I tell everybody, you gotta say this a million times, and then in thirds.
Half,
You
third.
gotta say half, half, third, okay? Right, so here's half, half, and then third.
And then you just use
See
tacky,
that?
the tacky glue to
Right,
stitch it together.
yeah, yeah. And I make it long enough, usually 3 or 5, so that's like that. And then like a coiled basket or a coiled ceramic pot. I measure the first one around the head. And then I build from there. And either I coil in and become smaller, smaller, smaller cone shape, or I build on the outside of the, I can't really, like this,
And go
and
wide.
build on the outside, so then it becomes flare. Okay, otherwise it becomes cone shape if it's like that. Or it becomes flare if you build out, okay? So,
Perfect,
and
thank you.
oftentimes I make hats that I can wear them both ways, like I like this up like this, but if I want to, I could wear it like this. Right?
Deborah, what are the
So the
chances?
thing is, you build it on,
What are
Huh?
the chances that we could get you to do a hat workshop at a later date?
it might be possible, but it's a lot harder on Zoom. And then usually what I do is so that we have enough time, I make enough elements so everybody has 3 elements to start with, because just to make the elements alone the first time out takes time. So you need at least 5 elements to build. I mean, when I work with kids, they'll do 2 rungs of the element and make a little princess tiara.
Okay.
But to build a real hat, you need about 5 of them to build it big enough to make a statement, okay?
Okay.
But maybe we could do it. I just need to get back in the swing of things.
No,
Let me get my taxes done and
Yeah.
re-enter and,
I hear you.
um,
I hear you.
yeah,
No rush, just something
okay,
to think about.
yeah.
That would be great.
But I mean, the hats are really fun, or even we can just do, bracelets made from the paper towels too, which
Oh,
are then
yeah.
either woven, or,
Oh, that
so,
would be great. The woven, the woven
yeah.
bracelets that we could
Yeah.
paint.
Here are students quickly to see. Here. So here's one, see the weaving? It's just
Yeah,
2 strips and then the woven element, the weft. And
right.
then here's one very well worn, which is 3 elements and then the woven element. And again, they're spray painted. And then the edges, I usually do nail polish because otherwise they get really worn. But I like the patina. Do you know the concept wabi sabi?
I've heard that a lot,
Japanese
and I
concept?
don't understand what it means.
Okay, it means imperfect, incomplete, and impermanent. So everything in life is incomplete, impermanent, and incomplete, impermanent, and imperfect. And then everything is perfect, right? So
Oh,
wabi sabi, life goes on. We get a pimple, we get a blemish, we get a cut, whatever. But that's life. Everything is in the process of becoming and changing. So
Jen,
this one is made
Jen was asking the word
wabi
again.
sabi.
Wabi sabi,
Wabi sabi. Look,
WABISABI. It's one
right,
word,
wabi, WABI, wabi. Just Google it. You'll see a ton of information what it means. It's just a good meditation. It's just a good way to live life. The Japanese have it covered. So we could do, the paper bracelets out of paper towels.
That could be.
And then
totally-
from there, I can talk more about the hats, but
Okay. Take catch it. Your
okay,
energy
any
is
more
amazing.
questions?
Your energy is amazing.
Now it's bedtime.
Yeah, exactly. Does anyone have any questions? It's 8:25. I think we've all had a long day and
This is another variation where just like this one, and they want to have on where I've just used other strips of the cardboard, but on the surface, but not flat, so that they stick out,
Mhm.
like this one.
How do you keep them from falling?
How do you keep,
Well, the cardboard's pretty. I fold under edges, and so that I can attach it with, see, that's why it's hard to do it online. It's
Yeah.
so hard to see.
yeah,
It's folded under, I make it like a little tab, so I glue the tab,
Yeah.
and then I keep it, but I don't glue the whole thing
Well,
down,
I guess you could put little tabs.
so it could become dimensional.
The toilet paper could act as like a little tab.
Spacer if you want, yeah. And here, this has olive pits attached to it. I did a whole series for the Neue gallery, and we did it as a video right at the beginning of COVID. And I just filmed it and photographed it, and they put it together to a musical. I'll have to send it to you. I have to find it. They did a fabulous job anyway. And then we did one with woven hats out of magazine pages. And so that's what we had to do at the beginning of COVID. We had to come up with, thank God for Zoom, otherwise we all would have been in isolation totally.
Right. Right.
well,
right.
that's
So-
when I started this art club, so that we could all come together and help each other through
Yeah.
COVID, because some of us had tech skills, others had other skills that could be applied, and we helped each other out, and it really helped me survive COVID.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
this
But when
club-
you use food things, do you like ants come or roaches or?
Yeah, I just wash it with a little soap and water. No, it's only an olive pit or a date pit or a dried flower. I mean, one of the rings I made for the ring show, I just used the skin of a lychee nut because it's so textural and that gorgeous pink.
Mhm.
And once it dries out, it dries out. It may be brittle, but it's clean. So it's not a problem.
Mhm.
No, I'm not phobic with things like that. A little soap and water goes a long way. I mean, I don't do anything that's gonna alter and rot.
Deborah,
So-
do you have a special way that you do the inside of the cuff, or do you just cover it?
No, I just cover it with the paper towel, like I showed you on this one. Or a piece of cloth if you don't have paper towel. No, I don't know where it is. You know,
Whatever's going to be most comfortable against the skin, I guess, whatever you have.
yeah, and then just right until to line it. Yeah, because if you have the mesh in there, it's a little scratchy, or you had some, copper or thick tape or something. So just line it with something. The paper towel to me is the most convenient. But if you have a piece of muslin or some piece of linen, on some of the big ones, I line them with the leather that the handbag lady sent me. Because
Oh,
they were
that's
nice big pieces of leather and it
Yeah,
made it very smooth. And I said, well, at least I'm using them for that purpose.
sure.
So, and this has, everything on it. Paper cord, mesh, fabric. Whatever's around the house. I save everything. I'm just but it's all small stuff. So you put it in an egg crate or you put it, egg crates are wonderful also. I don't have anything. Oh yeah, this has an egg crate part on it, but it's hard to see. With an egg crate square, then on top of it was an ace bandage thing that clips the ace bandage. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And then some yarn or plastic or whatever that pink is, I can't tell. So I love the egg crates. I use egg crates a lot. And of course,
They have a great
they're so
texture.
easy to come by and we don't want. Yeah. And they're strong.
Mhm.
Um,
All right.
Yeah, so the other thing that you saw that one hat made out of the yogurt lids. So this is another necklace just made out of, yogurt lids, plastic lids, with the middles cut out and then interlaced, wrapped in brown paper.
Those are great.
Very easy to wear, very lightweight.
It's wrapped in just brown paper, that's it?
Just brown paper, yeah. Yeah, glued, wrapped and glued. And then they're split so that I can interlace them and then I seal them with a hit of blue paper towel, just because I like that hit of blue. You could close it with anything, tape or another piece of brown paper, but I like that little accent.
I like that. Getting all
Yeah,
kinds of,
and very lightweight.
yeah. I'm getting
And then the
an
Mensch
idea, like
Award.
how to use duct tape too for all of this stuff. And that's the Mensch Award. I love that.
Yeah, you can use duct tape too. And tea bags, I told you, I have whole boas, well, you saw one in the picture, all made out of tea bag. And eventually they tear, but so what? So the dry tea goes all over the place and so what? It's only dry tea, it's not a problem. So
This
so
is
that's it.
Deborah, thank you so much. You
Thank you.
are
Amazing.
Welcome.
a bundle of creativity, energy, and just good juju all around. And thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for sharing
Yeah.
yourself with us. I appreciate it very, very
You're
much.
very welcome.
And I will
Okay.
be tracking you down for the bracelet workshop at some point.
Okay, very good.
When
Very
it
good.
works
Maybe
for
in the
you.
fall after the summer vacation or whatever.
Afterwards. Yeah, maybe in the fall. Absolutely. That would be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Great, okay.
Enjoy the
Excellent.
spring
Okay,
holidays
everybody.
and your summer and
Thank
everything.
you.
Stay safe. And
Okay.
thank you again. Good
you
to
so
see
I
you.
will be doing if any of you are members of MAD, of the museum, they have a new paper clothing show, paper clothing from the 60s that opens the 21st of March. And May 31st, I'm teaching a workshop related to that. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but obviously paper.
That's a
So
great
if
thing.
any of you are members or you
And they're right on
come to the
Columbus
workshop.
Circle. Easy to get to.
Right on, exactly, right on
Yep.
Columbus Circle. Every subway goes there.
Yep.
Thank
yep.
Okay,
you.
have a wonderful evening and a wonderful spring, everybody. Spring is in the air.
Bye, thank you.
Bye,
Hello.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be well, enjoy.
Furry.